Boys, we are lucky enough to have the boys from Punchlist MMA to fulfill a debt. I actually had the Game of Thrones Lannisters always pay their debt lined up as an intro, but we thought we'd just go in nice and clean and nice and easy for the boys. Trey, Dale, thanks for jumping on the Run It Back podcast.
Yeah, I'm already sweating, man. I'm already sweating. It's a balmy 75 degrees here in San Diego, but I'm already dripping just looking at this lineup
here. Yeah. My face will match my shirt in short order here. There is no doubt about it. I'm just sitting here. I've already got some of these sauced up, and the heat and the smell of it is coming up off the chicken into my nose, and I'm getting hotter by the second.
Well, we do appreciate you guys coming on to pay the debt. I might actually throw over to Stoney, who's going to break down why we're here.
Yeah, so obviously we saw a fight get lined up, which certainly got our interest, DL. One of the Run It Back podcast favourites, Brad Riddell, teed up against someone who, it's fair to say, is a bit of an adopted son of Punchlist MMA. He's had a few appearances. I speak of none other than Drew Dober. And, we've been trying to get the crossover podcast happening for a little bit now. And we thought, what a perfect way to make sure that goes ahead. Let's put a healthy little wager on. So we threw down the challenge to Dale and Trey. Needless to say, they were man enough to accept and went in quite confident. We got treated to an absolute cracker of a fight, DL. I think the two lads knew there was a bit riding on their fight, and they dug a little bit deeper than they normally would. In the end, the Run It Back boys came out, thanks to Brad Riddell, victorious, and
Quake.
Here we are today with Dale and Trey from Punchlist MMA, fulfilling their obligation. And I sense that Dale's a little bit nervous, but I think Trey's very, very nervous still.
I think Statman just wants to say thank you for straight up. Statman, do you want to say thanks to the boys?
Yeah, it's just going to be so beautiful, and I'm just grateful. And your sacrifice will not be in vain. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Well, boys, we might start with Trey. Sorry, Dale. We might start with Trey and just get your lineup, mate. So you've gone the traditional chicken wings, I'm guessing.
Did I mentioned to you guys, thank you so much, but you clearly saw a void in what type of meat is being prepared in the United States, because there is a significant shortage in chicken wings. So I had to go to 5 grocery stores. I found these. They definitely were picked over because these are not the best looking chicken wings. But I've got 6 here. I've got 3 hot sauces. I went as deep as I could to find these bad boys. So I'm going to be doing 2 chicken wings, and I'm going to douse each sauce with them pretty significantly. But the lineup of sauces I got here, going back to the Hawaii roots here, I've got Hawaiian chili pepper sauce. I feel like ghost pepper is in all of these sauces. I think that's a thing now. Like, that's a staple.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, mango garlic ghost pepper. I've got truff, which is a delicacy. It's a black truffle infused hot sauce, which I feel like it's $10 a drip on this bad boy.
Can't hide money.
A little red.
Yep.
And then finally, I got a El Yaquiteo. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but this is definitely was
not even close.
Yeah, this was smuggled over the border from Mexico. It says extra hot, spelled with 6 X's, so it's gonna be good.
Awesome.
Nice. Well,
awesome.
We're looking forward to you devouring those ones. Dale, line up. How's the chicken looking in your end?
Yeah. So the consummate company man, I decided to forego chicken wings and decided to go with some Stay Classy chicken. As you know, Stay Classy is a longtime sponsor of our show. They're a meat provider. So I got some Stay Classy chicken. I got huge chunks. I have an entire plate. I got about 2.5 pounds of farm raised chicken breast here. So I'm ready to do some work. As far as lineup goes, to be honest with you, some of these I've had before and I know how hot they are. Some of them I have not. But I do have a favorite hot sauce brand in the States. It's a company called Hank's, and my wife buys me variety packs all the time. So I have a lot of hot sauces. That being said, I'm going to try to put them in order from least hot to hot. And that order is, I have an herb infused. We have one called the Iceman, which I have no idea what to expect with that. So it may be the hottest one of them all. Camouflage, the Linger. I have another one called Heat. And then lastly, I've got one honey habanero, which we already know what kind of pepper is going to be in that. So I'm anticipating quite a bit of sweat in short order.
Dale, real quick, did you bring milk, or are you going whiskey, beer? What are we doing here?
I'm going beer.
Okay, good.
I was actually going to ask you,
podcast,
boys.
buddy.
I was actually going to ask you boys what was the method you were going with, because milk, I heard, is the key to just calming down the palate. No.
Nah. Suffering's part of the debt. I owe you my suffering. I will drink beer and I will suffer in kind. That's what I will do.
Now, Dale, I just want to jump in. Sorry, Trey, real quickly. That's an impressive size plate you've got there, Dale. And Trey, I think I know why there's such a shortage of chicken in the United States. I think Dale's put a dent in the supply because he has not gone in by halves.
No,
absolutely. I did go a different route though. I didn't go beer, milk, or water. I just want the team to know I'm going a different route. I thought the best way to mask the craziness that my tongue's about to go through would be peanut butter.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not going Old Skippy though. I'm actually going Screwball. It is Peanut Butter whiskey. So
that sounds fucking good.
Yeah. So we should be in good hands.
How do we do a show together? Who are you?
Peanut butter whiskey. That's like that's a genius crossover.
It's better than hard seltzer, isn't it?
Or kombucha.
How dare you say
kombucha. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Now I know the level that we're at. Okay. Well, boys, we might kick this off. Okay. Really nice and easy. We're just going to start light. So we should start with the first wing. So, boys, grab your first wing and jump in.
Cheers.
I'm going to go with the fancy stuff and honor.
Oh, this is
Connor.
such a bad idea. This is so hot already.
Oh, he's gone the top shelf straight up, Trey. Dale's already sweating a little bit. Okay, boys, let's get some background first. Tell us about the Punchlist MMA story. How did it come about with you lads? Because you're on opposite sides of the country.
Yeah. Okay, well, he's eating. I'll tell you the story real quick. So I had a podcast many years ago with my brother. It was a sports handicapping podcast called Fistful of Cash. My brother was my co-host in that. Trey was a listener to that show, primarily because we did a lot of MMA coverage. So Trey was a listener to that show and was talking about starting his own podcast and wanted to sort of connect on that regard. So Trey and I sat down and we sort of mapped out what a podcast would look like for him. And he started his own show called Proper Punches, which was like a MMA news and views kind of thing, almost like a TMZ Sports, but for MMA. He saw a lot of success with Proper Punches. I saw a lot of success with Fistful of Cash. Anyway, my brother ended up falling out of the show, not wanting to do it anymore, and I was doing Fistful of Cash by myself. Trey was doing a show by himself, and we said, hey, why don't we combine forces? Let's rebrand and figure it out. And here we are, man. We're into season 2 of Punchlist MMA, man. It's growing leaps and bounds. So I've never met the guy. I don't know if he's 5'1" or 6'8". I don't know how he smells or anything like that, but hey, we have a good time every Tuesday.
Wing number 2, boys. Can we get another wing down before I ask this question?
This is going to be the Iceman, by the way. I'm going Iceman for these two. So the first one was the herb infused, which was quite nice. Sweet with a little bit of heat.
Nice.
We're now going Iceman.
Where am I, Dale? All right.
Ooh, I don't like this one.
Well, Trey, oh, Jesus, he's pouring a lot of sauce on
Did you guys see the last wing? The dude drowned it. He didn't have to, but he did, and I appreciate that.
He did. We like that.
It's so good.
Since Dale got the last one, Trey, this question's for you.
Yep.
Biggest memorable bet that has come through for the boys, and betting advice you gave that you wish you could have taken back.
Okay. Biggest bet that's hit for the boys actually hits every fight or every card. Women's underdog. Anytime there's a women's underdog plus money, you got to take it. We have defined it as science. It doesn't matter the skill level. Anything you see plus money on a women's name, you take it and you will come out. What would you say, Dale? 70% time?
I think
Struggling
it's
to breathe.
I think, dude, the Iceman was the sleeper. You were right. I screwed that up. I think women's underdogs are at about 61% on the year so far.
So,
oh man.
that, and then I'm sorry, Dale. What was the other question?
The second part of that question was betting advice you gave that you wish you could have taken back. It was out in the world, and you just needed to think, "Oh God, I wish I had that one back for the boys."
I say a lot of dumb shit. A lot. I say a lot of dumb shit every single week. I always think that you always want to fair. That's why Vegas sets the heavyweight fights at 1.5 rounds. I probably go over 1.5 way too much. I just, big guys landing heavy shots. I think they can withstand what is 7.5 minutes, but it doesn't really fare that way. So anytime I go over 1.5, your boys get a little zealous, but that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything ridiculous. Obviously, if Uriah Faber fights, I put him up against anyone. If it was the Piotr Jan fight, I said Faber by KO. That was a bad one.
It's not great.
No,
It wasn't a great one, but no, we've done fairly well. It's just some dumb decisions on my part for sure. Dale, that's the great thing about having a partner in crime. I say something stupid, he kind of says respectfully, "That's retarded," and then he pulls me right back in.
Here we go with the hard R's again.
Full respect. Dale, do you
I've
have
got
one?
two.
Yeah, okay, hit us.
Yeah, I've got two. The first one was Gregor Gillespie, Kevin Lee. I leveraged a kidney that Gregor Gillespie was going to beat Kevin Lee and told everyone to do exactly the same. In my entire betting career, 10 plus years now, that's the most money I've ever lost, was that. And then the second one was whenever we had Calvin Cater on the show, and as such, took Calvin Cater to beat Max Holloway.
Oh, Jesus.
And Max Holloway put on the performance of all performances that has ever happened inside the octagon. That's the most wrong I've ever been. But the Gregor Gillespie play was the biggest loss I've ever had.
Started getting nervous watching that Cater fight. I was about round 3, round 4. I started getting that little sick feeling in my stomach, being like, "Hey, is anyone like in charge of this fight here, guys? We should maybe just call this off."
Now, Dale, we can certainly compensate with some losses. I remember we've had a number in the theatre over the journey, but I think the biggest sting I've ever had, lads, was the card, and the number escapes me. It's when GSP come back to fight Michael Bisping, and on that we also had Cody and TJ, Joanna and Rose. I literally think I lost big money on every single fight, and I walked away from DL's place that day just a bitter and broken man, ready to give up on the sport of MMA. But then the next day rolls around and you're straight back on the horse. But I think it's all part of the game, is experiencing the downs and enjoying the ups. But speaking of the ups, boys, wing number 3, are we ready?
Yeah, hold on. I'm saucing up here. So the Iceman was the ringer there. So I'm going to leave this next one up to you. Should I go with the linger or camouflage?
Oh.
I reckon we go in early with the linger.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to have some staying power. So
You want some
it's like a
recovery time.
multiplier.
I'm going on a trip to Hawaii right now with a Hawaii chili
Oh, this would
pepper
be
sauce.
nice.
So
This would be a nice little break in between the wings then.
I will say it is rather chunky, but here we go. Oh, it's very.
Alrighty, boys. What we want to know is favourite live MMA moment. Can be UFC, can be not UFC, but we want to hear from each. What is the best live MMA event or moment that you've witnessed?
Dale, I'll go first. I was live to watch Michael Bisping knock out Luke Rockhold in LA.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that was unbelievable because, everyone knew Bisping took that on short notice. This was the guy that, had won so many fights in the UFC, but never thought that he was going to be a UFC champion. Goes in there, knocks out a cocky Luke Rockhold, retains the title, does a couple title defenses, call him what you will. But, for a hardworking guy like that, UK pride, that was an amazing moment. His family was ringside. I got to see that. And everyone was kind of in awe in that moment. They just sat in their seats for literally an hour afterwards. Like, what did we just witness? And of course, that's been on highlight reels, being that he is an analyst now and middleweight champion of the world. So That was pretty spectacular for me, for sure.
It's a good one.
I have two. So I was live for when the Pat Barry Czech Congo knockout happened. So newer MMA fans may not know that fight, and if you don't, I encourage you to go back and watch it.
Is that versus 4?
Yeah, it was Versus or Fuel TV. It was one of the two. I think, but it was absolute anarchy. What they did not show is that Pat Barry stayed on the canvas for a long time. Like we were leaving, and Pat Barry was still laying down. So that was really, as far as UFC related, that's the best one. And then one of the most fun things I've ever done is, as you guys know, I got a chance to call fights live, doing color commentary. It's for a local promotion, but you guys have been doing a lot of work with Eternal, so you know that energy and that buzz of local shows and how crazy it gets. So I was this far away from the cage, microphone, headset, cans on, calling fights. I mean, it's about as much fun as you can have at an event.
100%. I think that's something, Dale, that I certainly underestimated getting involved with Eternal, just how much I would actually fall in love with local MMA. Having been a fan of, obviously, the UFC and the major promotions for a good 12-odd years, I'd never really looked in our own backyard, which is, remiss of me to say, DL, but since we've been on board, I know there was a fight lined up between a couple of podcast favourites. It actually fell through. We were due to get across and see that one, but I genuinely, the week of the fight, I was as nervous and as anxious as almost any UFC fight that we've seen go down.
My mouth is orange.
I'm sweating. I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm crying out of the corner of my eyes.
Well, we might just get a quick welfare check before Stoney pumps out the next question. Trey, how are we feeling? We're nearly halfway through.
Horrible. I brought this. Oh man, I can't even get it. I'm so sweaty. I brought this American flag because I was going to wave it throughout your whole podcast, but I wish it was white so that I could just surrender, dude. I'm having problems.
Did I see you drinking some water, like a jug of water?
Yeah, I got a mason jar of water here, which doesn't help.
I don't think water's good for spice.
I think it enhances it.
It spreads it around.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I would bring out the Jameson. I bring out the High West. Like, what? I don't know what to do right now.
All right, boys. We might need to chalk up that next wing. Where are we going?
Right, here we go. All right, this is what I did the linger last time. So this is camouflage.
Yeah,
It's such a deadly name.
You're not going to see it coming. I'm sure. I think that's their motto.
I'm gonna open up the El Yucateco. It says it's salsa maya extra picante. So
Perfect. I don't know what that
I
means.
don't know what any of that is.
All right, Stoney, hit him with the question.
All right, lads. In your opinion, now this is a controversial one. It goes around on Twitter all the time. Who has the strongest case?
That's a lot of sauce.
I thought it was like light.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hey, what's the time difference between Trey and Dale? Because Trey's going to have a little bit more recovery time than Dale.
I got 3 hours difference.
Dale's going straight to bed after this.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit. All right, sorry, Stoney. Hit him again.
The wheels
Yeah,
are
this
coming
one's
off.
no joke.
Welcome to our show.
Mate, welcome to our show. I think this crosses over nicely.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, boys, I'll try and sneak this one in. Just to hold the sauce for 1 second, Trey. We can't contain ourselves over this way. In your opinion, who has the strongest claim to being labelled the MMA GOAT?
I'll let you all right if I touch this one first?
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna say honestly, for all intents and purposes, when you get into the conversation about the GOAT, I don't want to get bogged down in details, but you have to take some sort of you have to suspend reality as far as weight is concerned, because all things considered, you'd have to take the weight of the fighter, the skills, and just say, like, imagine a Mighty Mouse that weighed 260 pounds, right? Like if you were to take his skill set and put it in a 260 pound man, there's not a lot of people that would ever be able to touch that human being. But the flip side of that is he's not 260 pounds. So it's a very tough argument to make. So you usually kind of end up right in the middle. And for me, it's George St. Pierre. If you look at his losses, who he lost to, right? Matt Hughes and the Matt Serra loss, you lose to an all-time great. Okay. And then in the Serra rematch, he pretty much proved that was not a fluke, because I mean, Serra intended to beat him, but he righted that ship very quickly, and then just proceeded to be as dominant as any champion has ever been in history, statistically, with the exception of maybe Khabib, but Khabib wasn't champ as long. And in my opinion, Khabib's record is a little suspect. His first 10 opponents had like a combined, whatever it was, 20 wins amongst the 10 of them. I don't really buy into that very much. For me, it's GSP. I mean, 170 pounds. He beat nothing but killers for most of his career. No cans. A ton of people that you could make arguments of having Hall of Fame careers if the Hall of Fame extended out to like a legitimate body outside of the UFC, almost like we see in just about every other major sport, right? They have a larger canon of Hall of Fame folks. It's not so much a popularity contest. For me, it's GSP. Never got caught using steroids. So, yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, GSP. When it's all said and done, who knows? But the other thing, too, and this small caveat before I let Trey answer this, is that the sport itself is only 25 years old. So it's pretty tough. I mean, we're a baby in all things considered when it comes to major sports. We're babies still. So the GOAT conversation is constantly fluctuating. There's some that are stronger claims than others. GSP, John Jones, Anderson Silva, Fedor. That's the Mount Rushmore. Khabib's on his way there as well. They're the pillars holding the building up right now. My opinion. Trey, what do you got?
I mean, you pretty much said it all, but I think, gender aside, I mean, Amanda Nunes, I think that originally the UFC was created to understand what was the best mixed martial art, like what was the greatest, facet of mixed martial arts that you could utilize. And originally we thought Ronda Rousey, as it related to women's MMA, was it. But then we realized that she was very one-dimensional. She had an arm bar, she had shitty striking, and that was it. But she could out-judo people and take advantage. I mean, in Nunes, maybe she doesn't have the quality of competition. She hasn't been tested enough, but she is a complete fighter through and through. So to Dale's sentiment, I totally believe that GSP is that. We can't put John Jones because steroids. I'd love to say Faber, but we can't say Faber. So I'm going to go Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, boys. So I want you to travel to a faraway fantasy land. The UFC has a black hole in their program.
They're hallucinating at the moment, Statman. They're there.
Yeah, that's true. So the UFC has a black hole in their programming, and they need to fill a minute of airtime. And they've come to you guys to pitch Punchlist MMA to the audience just before the Conor fight. What's your ad? What's it look like? How do you get the word out about Punchlist MMA?
And if you don't put a wing in your gob before that answer,
you got to.
You want me to eat a wing before this?
Oh
Okay.
yes,
mate,
absolutely.
you got to hit that wing. What are we going?
You can use the eating time to get a proof of concept up and running.
I'm going with just the one that says heat on it. So that's all I've got. I've got heat and habanero left. So I don't know what these questions are gonna. Oh man, which one did I put habanero on and which one did I put heat on? Shit.
Dale, did you all of a sudden just get like really cold, or am I having a reaction?
They say that the first sign of hypothermia is your extremities get really hot. So maybe this is like the opposite.
That's reassuring.
Speaking of hypothermia, you want to hear something really morbid while I chew on this? Most people that they find that die from hypothermia are naked and they dig little holes and they die in the hole. Did you know that?
Oh my God.
Did not know that. Something tells me Statman already knew that though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dale, why don't you? I mean, you're the wordsmith. Why don't you give the formal pitch, and I'll give why I thought we created it after.
Okay, give me a sec. I'm just like.
Oh no!
Heat was straight to the
Don't
point.
touch the eyes. Don't touch the eyes.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
trying-
rub your
trying not
eyes.
to.
Yeah, that's
Try not to. All right. Well, that's hot. The heat is hot.
It's shocking.
I know, right? It's weird how it works out.
They
That way.
nailed that marketing. Oi, boys, I got a great idea for a sauce.
The heat is hot. All right, so we get a minute. No, yeah, I think the reason why, if you're looking for a 1 minute pitch or an elevator pitch for Punchlist MMA, we try to bring something to the table that a lot of people don't bring to the table, and what I mean by that is that there's a lot of podcasts out there that sort of ride this median of entertainment value versus analytics, but there's very few that do it really well. What we try to do is find a healthy balance of those things. And in the process, we try not to skimp on quality of either. So the entertainment, we want high quality entertainment. From a betting or analytics perspective, we want high quality analytics. So you're getting the best of both worlds. It doesn't do us any good to be fantastic bettors, but be robots on the microphone. The flip side of that, it doesn't care how funny, charismatic, or well-spoken we are. If we couldn't pick a booger, nobody's going to listen to what we have to say when it comes to that. And the foundation of what Punchlist MMA is we're very good at picking winners, but we're also very much diehard fans that just really enjoy the sport. And we're normal people, right? Like, I mean, I know Trey's eating $100 a bottle hot sauce, but for the most part, we're normal people. I'm not a professional gambler. I don't have a Lamborghini parked in my driveway, but I do have skin in every game. You guys know full well, first season of the show, we bet every single thing that we said and had slips to back it up for everything. So authenticity, creativity, and fan engagement. There's not a lot of podcasts out there that give away as much as we do, that interact as much as we do, and try to build a community as much as we do. That's one of the things that, in particular, Trey is very intentional about, is building the punch list army. And I know that's over a minute. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's very seldom do you find podcasts that are a little bit more broad. That's either you go to a betting podcast and it's all stats, analytics, and that's what it is. You go to a TMZ-esque version of MMA and it's all like what's going on in the news. There's not one that kind of blends everything. And our goal when we started this was, hey, we want to cater to the guy that wants to bet. We want to cater to the guy that, just wants to know about the sport. And maybe, for a great example, we want to cater to that hot chick that goes to the bar and is like, hey, I really want to impress this dude by knowing what's going on in the world of mixed martial arts. Here's our stop. So it was kind of that all-encompassed, you get everything mixed into a podcast.
Beautiful. Now, boys, this is a part of the show that I've stolen directly from the official Hot Ones YouTube. Grab your, what are we up to? Six wing?
I'm on my last sauce. So you want to know what this bottle says? I've been reading all of these, but do you want to know what this one says?
Let's go for it.
Okay. This fiery blend was originally created by ancient Indians to please the sun gods as a sauce of sacrifice. They believed a sweet, fierce bite was exactly what they would enjoy. There is no documentation for any of this, but we also believe this blend is magic and would appease even the pickiest of sun gods. Enjoy.
I love that. It's like, we've got nothing to back this up, but it's really hot. So.
Really freaking hot. So this is the habanero. Oh, and it's a very bright orange. Oh, lordy.
Would you say the Iceman's the hottest so far?
The Iceman is the hottest so far. Yes.
So
it's hotter than the heat.
So the Iceman's going to be your final sauce for the last two questions.
So I'm going habanero, then back to Iceman. Super. Thanks, DL.
Just a quick one, Dale. Has anyone ever reached out and employed you to actually do an ad read? Because that was phenomenal.
Thank you. Can I do something real quick?
Yeah, go.
So the Lingerie Fight League is looking for a new color commentator. They put an announcement out on Twitter.
I'm there.
I would love to bombard them so I could be the color commentary guy for the Lingerie Fight League.
Mate, that'd be awesome.
I'm tailor made for that position. I need it.
Jam would never let you do that. Absolutely not.
That's true. The wife would never let me do that.
No way.
Now, boys, do you both have your phone with access to your DMs on Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
That scared the shit out of Trey.
Okay. So this next part, this question, is a little deep dive into Instagram. All right? And I've found a gem. Now, for the listeners at home and for the ones when I put this video together, they're going to see this video pop up in the middle of their screen. So I've shot it to the boys in the chat because they have not seen it either. And I'm just going to send it to you guys. And I'm directing this one at Trey. Sorry, Dale. Trey, I need to know a little bit more about this. Sent. This is early.
Oh. Yeah. Do you like me to explain this?
I think the boys just need to consume it first. Trey will get. They're all having a watch now on their phone.
You know what's sweeter though?
I love
Proper
the slow.
Punches is
I love
up
the
and
slow
live
motion.
on all major podcast platforms. Episode 1, we'll be getting into
Some
Yoel
it's
Romero's
quality cinematography right there.
It's pretty much made overnight.
The quality is.
We'll also be getting into is Cody Garbrandt leaving Team Alpha Male? How about we get into Alex Oliveira's drunken motorcycle ride with his 5-month-old kid?
I think it's nearly
Or
got to the
Tony
end. I think the
Ferguson's
boys have
CTE
nearly
issues and his
consumed
up-and-coming fight with Cowboy.
This is getting a
And of
little
course, how can we not leave out
feel like
Conor
I've not
McGregor
seen
with Dawn and all the crazy shit he's
It's a
getting
deep
into?
dive. I went
Check
deep.
us out. We're live. Proper Punches.
I went deep, but not deep enough, obviously.
I think the saddest part of that entire thing is how good a shape I used to be in. That guy was not eating chicken wings. I'm telling you, that guy was a stud.
Right, talk me through that hype video.
Yeah, dude. So hype video for sure. So that was the birth of Proper Punches. Like, so what Dale was talking about. The UFC is so different in the fact that there are so many storylines because it's guys going in, and we talk about it all the time. It's high stakes punch face. These are guys that are a different breed. They're full on amazing athletes, but they have a crazy lifestyle, and what they do for a living is absolutely bonkers. So my thought is, gosh, why don't I start a podcast that actually talks about the craziness that happens outside the cage? There's a billion podcasts out there that talk about what happens inside. What about all the crazy shit that goes on outside? So that's what I kind of started Proper Punches and kind of tried to like create my own niche. And it was good, except for it was bad on me for labeling it Proper Punches because at the time I was young and stupid and I was all about Proper 12 whiskey. So really the podcast was 30 minutes of me drinking Proper 12 of whiskey and then barely stringing words along at the end to get out what the actual message of the episode was about. So yeah, it was good. Good times.
Love it, boys. Dale lost it during that.
Do you have like your favorite outside of the cage story?
I don't really have a favorite because all of them were really not great for the fighters. I mean, you remember the Charles Oliveira one where he got absolutely shit-faced and took his kid on a motorcycle, wasted, and drove away from his house. Like that it was in that thing. Like there was just really bad stories. It was all like the Mike Perry type stuff that you see every single weekend, you know? That's what I kind of honed in on. Full on TMZ on steroids for mixed martial arts.
I like it. Cool. Little side spin-off show. Bring it back.
This Dale, that was super lame though because Dale doesn't have a Instagram, so I'm taking it for the boys.
Yeah, well done.
Yes, this guy thinks the government's always watching him, dude. That's why he's on it.
I'd like to see an updated ad, DL. At some point, Trey.
Can we get a fresh one?
One that actually looks
why
like
is
the
that
Trey
in
that we know.
We could do a Snags Trey double. It'll come out
Look
awesome.
absolutely.
All right, boys. A couple of fun ones to finish off. Now, I need you to go to your hottest sauce for this one. So there's 2 left. It's just a bit of fun, these ones, boys. So give those bottles a shake. We want all those ghost peppers and all that floating to the top. Get it on that wing.
Iceman it is.
Iceman.
Iceman's hotter than that habanero. I screwed up. I went wrong.
Oh, he's the peanut butter. He's going the peanut butter straight from the bottle.
Different kind of burn.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could see how thick the Iceman sauce is. There is a lot of this. Is not like a smooth sauce. There is a chunk to this. It's not a.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's got some.
All right,
Put the protective sheets down, boys. Tonight.
Sleeping on the couch tonight, wrapped in plastic.
Yeah. Well, it's a good. My wife works night shift, thankfully, so she will not be here tonight for this. So,
all right, Trey's into his wing. Dale's just about to jump into his.
Trey's
I'm
a champ. Did you see how much he's putting on each wing? It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, here, I'll show you. So what's happening is I'm getting a conglomerate of all the sauces going together.
Ooh.
So every
Vortex.
Yeah.
Love that.
Dude,
All right,
this
boys.
is so hot, man.
Now, you might be familiar with the game. It is Answer the Internet. You find it on Barstool Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favourite questions. I've got one, and Stoney's got one to finish off. So this is mine. This is one of my favourites. If you were armed with a baseball bat and were being attacked by an endless wave of 10-year-olds wearing helmets, how many could you beat up before the 10-year-olds took you down?
Wow.
They got helmets on.
It's politically correct because they're wearing safety gear.
I mean, they've still got ribs though, right? Like,
Yeah, start working the ribs.
yeah, absolutely. Midsections.
Get those liver
And
shots.
you have to take him out of your misery.
Oh.
Like you can't talk to him.
No. Well,
You can try and reason with the endless army of 10-year-olds. I mean, go for it.
No one's tried that.
no one's tried it.
Oh no, he's out of
It's
here.
empty.
Dale,
What?
how many would you take out, dude?
What kind of bat do I have?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's legit. Is it wood or metal or does it have spikes? Like, what are we talking?
Mate, you can pull whatever
I'd say-
weapon you need. I'd say it's
yeah.
probably a wood bat, but
No spikes.
Wood bat?
no spikes. We want to be.
You know,
Regulation
it's
size.
funny. It's funny you say this because not to like stray off for a quick second. My wife and I were having this conversation because she won't let me have a gun in the house, obviously. But if there's an intruder, so she let me buy a bat. Wouldn't let me get a metal bat. Got a wooden bat. I've never played baseball. So every time like there's a weird, like one of my children's toys go off at like 2 a.m. and I freak out. I like grab the bat and I'm like, this is stupid. Like I'm gonna die here today. So I would say in regards to 10-year-old kids, I'd probably take down maybe 4 of them, maybe.
Would it be the energy that stops you or the guilt?
The guilt for sure. Yeah, I
They just
would
make
hold
it-
my bat and just be like, why did I do this?
They make a different noise. a 10-year-old getting hit by a baseball bat really makes a different noise.
For sure.
And Trey's got a good swing on him because he used to play tennis, and that was hands down one of my favourite moments. When I think you were trying to articulate ring rust, Dale, and you asked Trey if he could pick up a racket and you know, pick up the swing where it left off, and he started detailing all the surgeries he had.
Trey, I think your wife has a point, mate. If your kids' toys are going off at 2 a.m. and you're immediately grabbing the baseball bat, I don't really want you running around the house with a fucking gun.
Poor old Tickle Me Elmo's not lasting long, is
intruder,
he?
you grab the bat. It's fucking
Poor Elmo's got 4 bullets in him for now.
Jesus Christ.
Elmo. Daddy, what happened to Elmo?
Yeah,
It was
nobody's tickling him anymore.
Dale, how many kids you taking out with a baseball bat?
If they're motivated to take me down,
They are
probably.
motivated to take you down. Yep, that's
Yeah, I'd say
their
probably
sole
t-
purpose.
I have a 10-year-old, and she's a force to be reckoned with. So if I'm doing 10-year-old boys,
Yep.
that's a force. If it's a mixed bag, boys and girls, I feel a bit more confident. If it's girls, I feel pretty confident. Maybe we can bump it up to 12. But it's definitely less than 15 are going to be able to take me out. I mean, you just can't swing fast enough, man. You just can't do it. They're going to rush you.
If they're coming in like groups of 2 or 3, like in waves and something like that, you might be able to sort it out. But
Yeah, but if they all come at you at once
Yeah,
from
no.
all angles, you're in bad shape.
your arms get sore from all the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say less than 10.
Okay.
Less than 10 on no matter the age and sex demographic, it's going to be less than 10, especially if they're motivated.
See, Statman, that was my big criticism with the old Bruce Lee movies is all the enemies would choreograph, so he had just enough time to take out the one in front before the next one would come in. And even as a 4-year-old, I used to think, why don't they all just go at once? Surely
it's
that's
why I
more
love the
effective.
Jackie Chan movies, because he was always constantly being grabbed or thrown by like 3 or 4 people. It was
That's
a
true.
much more
That's a good
realistic fight.
I think that's a podcast in itself. Okay, boys. Final wings before Stoney hits you with the last question. Boys,
I have to eat more. I'm eating more.
let's
Just one more.
let's douse the last one.
And this is along similar
Dale,
lines.
could you swirl it? Could you swirl it in the
Yeah,
in the sauce?
I got you, Stat Man. I'll give you the swirl. It's the Iceman honey habanero herb linger camouflage heat swirl. You're welcome here. But I have nothing to drink. I'm out of beer. I'm out of water. I have nothing. Trey's licking his fingers like a savage. Look at him.
Dude, it's really good, but I'm dying.
I feel you guys have improved during the. I think there was a bit at the start we really struggled, but now you kind of.
Second win. I didn't know that was the thing with heat, Dale.
I think it is now. Yeah, boys have proven it.
Good work, lads.
This is. I assure you, I'm suffering. There's a level of suffering that's happening here. So,
Hope you enjoy the fights tomorrow.
Yes, Statman wouldn't leave the toilet tomorrow if this was us.
No, I'd preemptively be taking the Imodium, man. I'd be fucking chewing on it.
I'm telling you right now, this Iceman is no joke. This is as big of an asshole as Iceman from Top Gun. This is that. They've named it accordingly. You hate this, and then at the end, you hate that you love it. That's why they named it Iceman. And it's probably responsible for killing something. So, yes.
Yeah.
Iceman.
Alrighty, boys.
All right, what do you got, man?
Last one. So this is similar lines to DL's one. It's a silly question that whenever a fighter puts up a quick Q&A and you happen to be on at the right time and you can't think of what to ask, I always default to this. And I think Caitlin Chukagian was the only fighter who's ever actually responded. So shout out to Blonde Fighter for being a good sport. But what would you rather fight, boys? 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Yeah. I would do the duck-sized horses. So here's a fun fact about Dale. I am an animal lover, right? Except there are 2 animals on Earth that I hate. And I'm going to lose people with this. Dolphins. Dolphins and horses.
What?
Listen, if I could buy tuna with dolphins in it, I would. I hate dolphins.
Such an odd response.
Especially when it has nothing to do with it.
And I hate horses. So I'm definitely taking the opportunity to kill as many horses as I can, regardless of how little they are.
Can we just get some context? Why dolphins?
So dolphins are actually wait till DL's not drinking. Dolphins are rapists.
It's true.
It's true.
That man knows.
But so are ducks, man. Most animals are. They're fucked.
Yeah, but dolphins are really rapists. Plus, they have this weird superhero ability to tell like when something's pregnant, and they communicate with things through echolocation. It's very alien-like. They also have like those big emotionless eyes. A dolphin looks, and this is why I don't like horses too. A horse and a dolphin look exactly the same before they attack you as they do whenever they're having the best day of their life. If your dog is having a bad day, you know your dog's having a bad day. A dolphin could be ready to murder you, and you'd have no idea because it's still big, lifeless, non-blinking, all eyes. Same thing with horses. I hate them.
Yeah,
You can't get a read on them.
You've definitely thought about this one, which is good.
Way too much. You've lost sleep over that.
And Trey, what's your least favorite animal?
Wait, so sorry. The question was, it was a horse-sized duck
Correct.
Yep.
Or
or
100.
duck-sized horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I'd choose the horse-sized duck for sure. Ducks have little like little legs, like John Jones style legs. You know, I would hop on that thing and just knee bar the shit out of that thing.
I don't even know if I could take on a duck-sized duck. Like they're scary motherfuckers. Make it a horse size. You fight their beaks, mate. They can fly. It's terrible.
Look, duck-sized ducks don't get me, Statman, but like the geese, they freak the fuck out of me. So Yeah, horse-sized duck. I'm not down for that.
Dude, yeah, geese on a golf course. They have a different
Mentality.
go for it mentality. Yeah, they're out for vengeance for sure.
Nice.
Dolphins.
I hate them, bro. I'm telling you, I hate them.
Did you, Dale? Not to get too, and feel free to cut this, Dale. Have you heard about
There'll be some things that I'll be cutting.
CIA,
Don't worry about it.
the CIA experiment to try and get dolphins to communicate telepathically? And what they did was they just fed dolphins tons of LSD, and they flooded a house. Flooded a house, put a dolphin in it, put a nurse to live with them. And then the dolphin,
nurse was jacking him off.
Yeah, the dolphin fell in love
jerking him off.
The dolphin fell in love with the woman, so the woman had to keep giving him hand jobs
And
to
she
calm him
wouldn't-
down.
Yeah, so she started jerking off the dolphin, and then the dolphin was holding the experiments hostage. He wouldn't perform any of the tricks or anything until she jerked him off. And then once she jerked him off, then he would do the experiments. Yes.
This poor dolphin high on LSD getting hand jobs in a flooded house.
Yes.
Why are you reading that stuff?
DL, I always thought
The fucking weirdest story in the world, Dia. Why aren't you reading it?
God.
DL, I always thought if Run It Back ever, reached the end of its useful life, that me and Statman might just start a podcast talking about stuff like this. But I think I've been upstaged. Like I can't compete with Dale's level of knowledge on these topics.
No.
Man and Dale's
I'm so glad Dale
Dolphin
backed me up there
podcast.
because that would have just been a weird tangent for me to go on.
He's like, Statman's like, oh my God, I found someone else.
Yeah, mate.
Oh yeah.
Statman's going to be sliding into your DMs
Yeah, mate.
for the next
Absolutely,
3
100%.
weeks with conspiracy theories about animals.
Oh my gosh, dude! Whenever you want to talk about, listen, that's been one of the things that we've been putting on our show lately for whatever reason. Trey
We didn't
takes
agree on
courage.
that.
Yeah, well, bro, you get me started every week, man. Once I get going, I can't get it back.
Hey, we've lost so many listeners in the past 6 episodes.
75% of our audience is in Australia. You guys are going to be fine.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, boys.
All right.
We might put you out of your misery. Actually, in the hot ones, I give you an opportunity to plug something, boys. Plug the podcast. Where does everyone find the content?
Yeah, Trey, you want to do this? Or you want this? This is what I normally do. You want to do this?
No, this is your last minute of every episode, dude. Crush it.
Yeah, awesome. So if you don't already follow us, please do. You can follow us anywhere on earth at Punchlist MMA, Instagram at Punchlist MMA, Twitter at Punchlist MMA. If you want to shoot us an email, you can do so. Chat at punchlistmma.com. It's essentially we're everywhere under that moniker. There is a home improvement thing called Punchlist, but that ain't us. It's Punchlist MMA. So you can definitely check us out absolutely everywhere. And we try to do live content on Instagram on Friday nights, new shows on Tuesday nights, live on YouTube. Our show is not edited, not scripted. Real quick, not to do the plug thing, but I've told you probably all of you have heard me say this at one point in time. And I just want to take the opportunity to say it publicly. I love your show. And there's a couple reasons why I love your show. Is one, you guys are fans first, and you enjoy each other's company, and you enjoy the sport, and you approach it while being creative and respectful, but also not taking yourself so seriously. So I appreciate that about you. Second of all, you have the most well-produced show out there. And I'm not saying that, like, your production level is on par with any professional podcast that's out there. The time and effort that you put into your show bleeds through. And I don't care whether you have 5 listeners or 5 million. I assure you, they appreciate the production you guys put into it. You kill it from your graphics on social to your production, behind the scenes and your finished product. You guys fucking knock it out of the park. It's a pleasure to listen to you guys every fortnight. I absolutely, I'm serious. I'm not just saying it. I thoroughly enjoy your show. I don't have a lot of time. I only listen to certain content, but your show is one that I don't miss. Seriously.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
really appreciate
it makes our cup and string production look pretty shitty now.
Well, boys, we do appreciate you coming on and paying the debt. Trey, Dale, thank you so much for doing the challenge.
Yeah, guys.